Hello again, this is Robert Radford with 50 Years of Chess, and I'm bringing you round 3 of the Bristol Congress. It took place just a week ago. I just played 2 games, won the first one and drew the second one with a 77-year-old gentleman named David Buckle, who really wore me out in that second game. It went on for 120 odd moves. And I had to play my next opponent just 1 hour later, so there wasn't a lot of time to recover. But I played a gentleman named Photio. Now Alex was leading the Congress on 2 points, and I was on 1.5. No, Alex was white and I was black. And just a little bit about him. He's a university chap, and his rating around when the tournament started was around about 1500, something like that. And I'm 1721. I'll show you how Alex won this game. He played e4, I played c5, d4 straight away, so c takes d, and then he played c3, which is the more gambit. I could go pawn takes pawn, but I did a different line, which is d3. He took with a bishop, which puts his bishop out of sync, and also his knight as well can't go to c3 now. So I played knight c6, knight f3, d6, preventing the e5 pawn going on to e5, so I can't get my knight to f6. Castle e5, so I'm locking that out. Backward pawn, but it often is the case when you're playing Sicilian. If you play this way, bishop e3, knight f6, h3, bishop e7, c4. Now he's adjusting now by playing c4 and then getting his knight out to c3. So it did slow him down a bit while I did in regards to development. Castle, knight c3, but not too much because he's fully developed now. It's only got to move his queen to be able to connect his rooks. So I played bishop e6. And here I should have played h6. I don't know why I didn't. But I played queen d7. I want to connect my rooks and get them over to the queen side if possible. And then he played knight g5. And I thought, well, I don't mind because he's got dominating square there on d5. Absolutely dominating it. And if I retake with the f-pawn, then that puts paid to any chance of him getting in on d5 with his knight. So I played h6, he took, and I took the pawn. It gives me a half-open file with the rook. I am a bit weak around the white squares around the king, which is a worry, but apart from that, I thought I was okay. He played rook c1, and I played rook on a to d8. He's gone back bishop b2. Now I've got to break that diagonal of the bishop on e3, so I played that, and he played queen d3, g5. Now I know this looks very adventurous, and even risky, but the thing is, I've got to shut him down from advancing his f-pawn, because if he does that, then it could be very, very difficult for me, because he'll retake with the bishop, and he's hitting me on d6 with bishop, and and the queen, and possibly knight b5, and another rook behind the queen. So I think it was safe enough at the time I played it, but he's not interested in that. He's played rook to d1 from f1 to d1. So I've gone queen to b7 now to get my queen out of the way of there, and he's gone back queen. Now he's going to concentrate on the centre, I think. Rook f7, b4. No, he's coming at me down the queen side. This is really unusual. I'm not sure what to think, because white usually attacks on the king side against Sicilian, not the queen side, but as it is, he's gone b4. So I've gone bishop back to f8. So that's given me a much better line there on that rank. On the 7th rank, where I can move my rook or queen along that rank and give me lots more squares. So he's gone bishop b3. So he's masking an attack on e6 here, should he move the c-pawn on. So I've got to be wary of that. So I've moved my queen across to make sure there's nothing there for him. And then he attacked the knight with bishop a4. So I went back to b7. He's gone back to b3. I think I spoke to him afterwards. Had I gone back to queen e7 again, he said he would probably have repeated the moves. I think he would probably have done that. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but anyway, knight e7, f3, rook g7. Now the plan is to go knight to g6 and then into f4 if possible, or knight h5 and then into f6. But things changed. He played rook d2 and I decided that the knight on f6 should go back to e8 to protect that d-pawn. So if necessary I can move the rook over to help the queen. So he's played c5. Now this is getting a bit risky now for me. He's found a weak link here, and so I played rook g6 to stop bishop takes on e6, which is what was always his plan of playing c5. So I sorted that out, but after pawn takes pawn and then pawn takes pawn, he could have gone queen to b5 straight away, but he chose to go a4, which is probably better. So I've got a bit of problem here. So I've gone knight into c6, hitting the b pawn, and then he's played queen b5. So now I'm in trouble because with the queen and the bishop, he's hitting me on b5. Now I could have played knight d4, and so he couldn't take that pawn, and he would have probably played bishop takes and d4, and I would have gone e takes and then rook takes, or knight back to e2, hitting the pawn. But either way, I would have got rid of my weak pawn, my doubled pawn on e5, and despite being a pawn down, my game wasn't too bad. Probably could hang on for a long time. But I played this most stupid, ridiculous move. Instead of knight, I knew I had to move the knight, but I touched the wrong knight. Instead of knight into d4, I played knight to c7. I saw my hand pick the piece up and play there, and I thought, what have I done? I just given a pawn away, but it was worse than that, because I've got the choice of either moving my rook behind my queen or queen takes queen, but either way I'm in big trouble, and I'll show you why. Because I played queen takes queen, bishop takes queen, and I thought I was okay with rook d7. He could play knight e2. That's it, game over. He's going to win a piece. I just wasn't thinking. The only thing I could think of was knight into d4, but he could have just taken knight on e4, and after pawn takes, he still takes on d7, on c7 with the rook or bishop. So disappointing game, really. I didn't play anywhere near my best, but I was a bit fatigued from the previous game. I'm not using that as an excuse. When you've only got an hour's rest from a really long 4-hour game, or 3.5, 4-hour game, I just wasn't thinking straight there. I think fatigue had set in and I paid the price, but nevertheless, I do have to say, for a guy who's only played 8 games with this game all season. He played well. He didn't do anything wrong. In fact, it was quite easy for him because I didn't even attack him. That's how tired I was. I wasn't even able to get my game going and attack him. I was just defending from the start. So painful as it was to lose this one, which really put me out of the running because I'd already drawn with Mr. Buckle. The most I could get was 3.5 now and come in third somewhere, a joint third or something. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll bring you game 4 tomorrow. Thank you.